Hello Oz fans, the second international break of the season is over, which means Queen's Park Rangers return to Championship action on Saturday afternoon for their very first 3 o'clock home kickoff of the season, with last season's League One champions Portsmouth, the latest visitors, headed to Loftus Road. And it's a fixture that's a pretty big deal for both sides because Martí Cifuentes' QPR are on a run of just 1 win in 9 in the league, while John Mousinho's Portsmouth are still yet to have their first taste of Championship victory, full stop. Now, regular viewers will know that I'm usually joined by an opposition guest for these previews, but on this occasion my guest has had to drop out last minute, so in this video it will be me chatting through both Portsmouth's season so far as well as QPR's current predicament. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. We're very nearly at 2,500 subscribers, and let's get straight into it. Now, while every team has to play each other at some point, it's hard to deny that Portsmouth have had one of the toughest opening runs of any team in the Championship, with all 3 relegated sides and 2 of last season's playoff contenders in their first 7 fixtures. But with that said, it was a run that didn't seem to faze them at all at first, kicking off their season with a massive away point in a 3-3 draw at Leeds United, having been a matter of minutes away from leaving Elland Road with a win. They then capitalised on Luton Town's sleepy start a week later with a 0-0 draw, and were once again minutes away from leaving Borough with a 2-1 win the following weekend before conceding a 90th minute Tommy Conway penalty. From that point onwards though, that gritty start has started to slip. Mousinho's side have now lost 4 of the past 6, and while 3 of those losses could be taken with a pinch of salt given they came at the hands of 3 of the current top 4, and another resilient draw at Sheffield United followed, that excuse will have started to wear thin with a 6-1 hammering at Stoke City and a 1-1 home draw to Oxford United before the international break, both the start of what Pompey fans would have surely considered a more winnable run. The thing is though, QPR and Portsmouth have been pretty alike this season so far, and not just because they currently sit next to one another in the relegation zone. Both managers set up in a 4-2-3-1, both teams have scored just 9 goals in 9 league games, and they're both in the bottom 3 for goals conceded. And if you disregard the 6 that Portsmouth shipped at Stoke as an outlier, we're pretty much identical for goals conceded, though unlike Rangers, Portsmouth have actually managed 2 clean sheets so far. The source of their struggles aside from that tough opening run may be similar to Rangers too, and that's looking potentially like the recruitment at the moment. Fellow promoted sides Oxford United and Derby County have both had more forgiving fixtures, but both teams added Championship experience to their squads in the summer. Portsmouth instead largely recruited younger players with potential, multiple from abroad, who haven't quite hit the ground running just yet. January signing Callum Lang leads the scoring so far with 3 to his name, with the midfielder notching twice against Leeds on the opening day and once against Burnley, though he has missed the past 3 with a muscle injury. Winger Josh Murphy is another threat with 2 assists in Portsmouth's last 2 games against Stoke and his former side Oxford United. I'm sure that Ars fans won't be surprised to hear meanwhile that Andre Dazelle has made 6 appearances this season before being benched for the past 3 and left as an unused substitution. The real difference to QPR though is that with these tough opening fixtures out of the way, and with Rangers, Cardiff and Sheffield Wednesday to play in their next 3, Portsmouth find themselves at an early crossroads. Produce wins in these winnable games and hope won't yet be lost, but fail to win in any of these fixtures and things could really start to spiral for Portsmouth. QPR, on the other hand, find themselves at the opposite side of that crossroads. Behind them, dropped points against Derby, Millwall, Wednesday and Argyle, much more forgiving fixtures, but after a Portsmouth-Coventry home double bill over the space of 4 days, a deadly run of Burnley, Sunderland, Borough and Leeds all away in the space of 2 weeks. Must win is an overused phrase and I hate to use it so early, but with the form we're in, Portsmouth is a must-win for me. Because if you can't beat the only winless side in the league, who are you beating? Some will say we pick up results against the good sides and we lose to the bad ones, that's just how QPR works, but it feels a bit early to be pulling that one out too. The return of Chair, of course, is very much welcomed, hopefully as a starter this time round, but unless Jake Clark-Salter and Colback are themselves ready to suddenly spring off the medics table, statistically our odds of picking up wins aren't very high given our poor record without them. The most important thing for me on Saturday is that we have to see something different. This new style of play has been so far a failure, and the problems are clear for all to see in our stagnant build-up play and weak midfield. If we go out on Saturday against Portsmouth and do the exact same things, expecting different results, I think I will start to develop serious concerns. But if we try something new, a different shape, a bolstering of the midfield, an increased intensity, I will be more forgiving because at least we'll know that Martí and the team are trying to find a solution, and that they've actually been working on something over the past 2 weeks. I personally think we'd benefit from an extra body in midfield to help tighten us up, go more towards that 4-3-3 shape we were playing last season, and I'd be keen to see Sella return to the starting lineup because I think that's the only way I can see him hitting any kind of form. Otherwise, get Dembele and Cher as close to each other as possible, look after the ball better, and hopefully we'll see that things improve. So, rounding off with a score prediction as usual, I'm going for an ugly, narrow 1-0 QPR win, with Jean Sella to score his first goal for the R's. Do let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video for my match reaction. Come on, you R's!